All right, everybody, welcome back. You ever catch yourself thinking about those little phrases we tell ourselves, like those self-love affirmations?
Mm.
Well, get ready, because today's deep dive is diving right into that.
Okay.
Though, gotta warn you, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Oh,
We're working with just a tiny little snippet of source material.
okay.
And all it really says is, powerful self-love affirmation.
Powerful self-love affirmation.
That's our jumping off point. So we're going to see what we can unpack just from those 3 words.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Right. I mean, most of us, we hear self-love affirmation, we kind of get it, right?
Yeah.
But what is it, that little something extra that bumps it up to powerful? Is it like magic words or something? Or is it more about how it makes you feel?
It really is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're spot on. The source material, it really hammers home that word powerful. Almost like it's trying to tell us something about just how much these little phrases can really do for us. So let's break this down a little.
Okay.
At their core, self-love affirmations, they're basically positive statements, right? They're there to help us combat all those pesky negative thoughts that like to just hang out in our minds rent-free. The goal is to nurture a more loving and positive self-image.
It's like you're serving those negative thoughts an eviction notice.
Get out of here. You're
Done. But maybe this has happened to you sometimes. It's like those eviction notices, they get ignored.
Oh, for sure.
Those thoughts, they just won't leave. So
Right.
how do we make an affirmation really stick, like really resonate and have that oomph that makes it last?
Well, that, my friend, is where things get really interesting. You see, for an affirmation to pack that powerful punch, it's got to click with you on a deeper level. It's got to have that resonance.
Okay.
And that usually comes down to a few key factors.
Hmm.
Believability, specificity, and emotional connection.
I like it.
Yeah. So first up, let's talk about believability. The affirmation, it has to feel, attainable, not like you're chasing some far-fetched dream.
Right.
So instead of saying something like, I am effortlessly successful in absolutely everything I do, which, let's be real, can feel a little overwhelming, a tad too much, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
You might try something a bit more grounded, something like, I approach challenges with a positive attitude and I learn from my experiences. It just feels a bit more real, doesn't it?
It does. You're not pretending to be superhuman.
Exactly.
It's more like, okay, I can do this. This is within reach.
It's like setting realistic goals,
right.
Instead of aiming for something so impossibly high that you just set yourself up for disappointment.
You get discouraged before you even start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have believability. You mentioned specificity. Tell me more about that.
Yes. Specificity. This is where you get laser focused. Instead of going with a general, I am confident, which, let's face it, can feel kind of vague, why not try something like, I'm confident in my ability to handle difficult conversations at work? Or, I am confident in my ability to make new friends. See? That laser focus, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah. It's like instead of this big, broad statement, you're really honing in on a specific thing.
Precisely. It's like using a laser pointer instead of a magnifying glass.
Okay, I like that analogy. I'm stealing that one. And then, of course, there's the emotional connection piece. What's that all about?
Yes. The emotional connection, it's crucial. This is where you tap into how the affirmation makes you feel.
Right.
It's got to resonate with you emotionally.
Yeah.
When you say it, does it feel good? Does it feel natural? Or does it feel forced, kind of awkward?
Yeah.
It's got to genuinely connect with your aspirations, your values, who you are at your core.
Totally. It's like, when you hear a song
Mm-hmm.
and it just hits you right in the feels
Yes.
versus a song that's just kind of there. Background music, nothing special.
Exactly. You want that emotional resonance. Okay, so we've got these powerful, resonant affirmations.
Right.
But now the big question. How do these things actually lead to real, tangible change in our lives? Is it just wishful thinking, like hoping for the best? Or is there something more, something deeper going on here?
Okay, so tell me, what's the science behind this?
All right, so buckle up because we're about to get a little bit sciencey
I
here.
love it.
Ever heard of neuroplasticity?
Yeah, it has to do with the brain, right?
Exactly. It's the brain's incredible ability to adapt and rewire itself based on our experiences and, get this, our thoughts. So when we're constantly feeding our minds these positive affirmations, those neural pathways, those superhighways of thought, the ones tied to our self-perception, they literally start to change.
Whoa, hold on. So you're saying just by repeating these affirmations, we're essentially like rewiring our brains.
Yeah.
For real.
For real.
Yeah.
Imagine you're walking through a forest, right? And every time you walk the same path, it becomes a little bit clearer, a little bit easier to navigate.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of what's happening in your brain with these affirmations. You're creating those strong, positive pathways.
Wow, I'm totally blown away right now. So we're creating these positive pathways.
Mm.
But there's another piece of the puzzle, too, isn't there? Something about cognitive dissonance.
You got it. You're on a roll.
Mhm.
Cognitive dissonance. It's that uncomfortable feeling we get when our actions and our beliefs clash. Like, let's say you're constantly affirming, I am worthy of love and respect.
Mhm.
But then you find yourself constantly seeking validation from people who treat you poorly, who don't value you.
Okay.
Your brain's going, hold on a second, something's not adding up here.
Right. Yeah.
That's the dissonance. And to get rid of that uncomfortable feeling, you'll naturally start to change your behavior. You'll start to align your actions with that positive self-image you've been working so hard to build.
It's like holding up a mirror to yourself and being like, okay, time to walk the walk.
Exactly. All right, so we've talked theory, now let's get practical.
Yeah.
If we were putting together like a starter pack of powerful self-love affirmations, what would you include?
Ooh, good question. I'd probably start with affirmations that target those areas where people tend to struggle the most,
Yeah.
like body image, for example.
So true.
So maybe something like, I nourish my body with healthy choices, and I appreciate its strength and capabilities.
I love that. What about for abilities?
For abilities, how about, I am capable of learning and growing, and I embrace new challenges with an open mind.
Perfect. And finally, for relationships.
Let's see. I am deserving of loving and respectful relationships, and I attract people who value and appreciate me.
Those are fantastic. And remember, these are just a starting point.
Yeah,
The real magic happens when you take these affirmations and make them your own.
exactly. Personalize them, let them reflect your own unique journey.
Absolutely.
This has been amazing. It's really incredible when you think about it, how these simple phrases, these affirmations, can have such a profound impact on our minds and our actions. It really makes you realize just how powerful our thoughts truly are. If something as simple as repeating a positive phrase can create those changes, imagine the incredible things we can achieve when we consciously cultivate a more loving and supportive inner dialogue.
So true.
It's definitely something to reflect on as you go about crafting your own powerful affirmations. And with that, until next time, everyone.